Get this situated. Alright. Now, I'm reviewing this here video, the new Transworld video, Perpetual Motion 25. This video is a great video. It has 6 skaters in it: Walker Ryan, Jimmy Carlin, Tom Remillard, Josh Matthews, Silas Baxter Neal, and Julian Davidson. This is a great video. I like it a lot. Yeah. Bear with me with my camera. It's pretty crappy. It skips a lot. So yeah. I got my notes. This is a review on it. First part was Walker Ryan. He started off with a he didn't start it off with it, but he did it. Like the suicide grinds, where you go head on to it and then go down it. He ollied it like that. He didn't go over the rail sideways with like an angle. He ollied it right over the top to the bottom. It was insane. Next trick was nollie frontside 180 to nose manual. You usually see people do nollie from 180s to regular manuals. He did it to a nose manual, and then he did a switch big spin out, which was pretty insane. Then he went up to a huge gap. Like, this gap is insanely big. Then he did a... Oh, no, sorry, I got ahead of myself. Before that, he did a switch flip, nose blunt, backside nose blunt on a ledge. It wasn't like a huge ledge. It was a pretty sizable ledge, though. And any switch flip back nose blunt's pretty hard in my book. Trick that I just got ahead of myself with because it's so awesome. Huge gap, was insanely big, did a nollie 360 flip down it like it was nothing, no hands down or anything. This part is my favorite part. I think Jimmy Carlin here should have had last part. I know Jimmy Carlin wanted to have a great part because I've watched interviews with him. He's one of my favorite skaters. He always said when he was a kid he always watched the Transworld videos, so I know he wanted to have a great part in this one. Jimmy Carlin, he's a freak. So he started out, he's like dancing, and he's like humming this crazy like space song. And then it like zooms in on his crotch area. It was pretty funny. And then he actually went to the Junior Olympics for jump roping, so he was like jump roping. He was doing the sit down move where they like jump rope while they're sitting down and they like bounce. And then he goes like handstand and jumps back, and I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. I should add it in there. Now for the real tricks from Jimmy Carlin. Did a kickflip manual and then a wall ride out of it. Then went 50-50 on like this little tiny sidewalk, but then it kickflipped out of it to a manual pad that was probably up to his waist. After that, he did the back feeble frontside big spin. That's like his signature trick, I guess. He did it on the San Marcos ledge, where on the Mikey days with him, Chris Cole, Mike Mo. The one where Mike Mo fell asleep. There was also an episode on Drew's days when those kids cut the rail and then Drew showed up with Billy Jackson and Jordan. Yeah, go check out Drew's days channel. He's awesome. Anyway, after that one, he did frontside tailside, double flip out to regular. I think that would have been a sick ender, but it wasn't. He had an even bigger ender, but I'm not going to tell you it because it was huge. Then he went fakie backside big spin, inward heel flip. It wasn't a big gap, like tall. It was pretty long, though. He did a fakie inward heel flip big spin down it. Like it was nothing. That's another one of his many signature tricks. Then he went this was the sickest trick ever. His whole part consisted of ledge tricks, not like a switch flip back tail, shove it out type ledge trick that you've seen millions of times by millions of different skaters. The type ledge trick where it's insane. Like, you know, frontside, tailside, double flip. It consisted of gnarly raw ledge tricks, huge stair gaps, or just weird kind of crazy creative tricks, which are pretty cool every once in a while. It was a bump, like a walk up, like a ramp for paraplegic people, I guess. And then there was the rail on the back, and he did a varial heel flip. And then the board went under it, he went over it. Varial heel flip, hippie flip, I guess, on a bump. That is the last trick of his part that I'm reviewing, because his ender was too sick for anyone to know it that didn't purchase this video. Next part, Tom Remillard. He had an alright part. I don't really like tranny skating. It's fun to watch every once in a while, but his was all at the same skate park. Just about 3/4 of his video was at the same exact skate park, so it was pretty. I mean, it was big, but it was pretty cool. But I mean, it could have been better if he really wanted it to. Next, Josh Matthews. I didn't really watch too much of his part. I mean, it was pretty cool, but anyway. Next part, Silas Baxter Neal. He is really good. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. I say Silas, but I've heard people say Silas. I think it's Silas. I don't know. Anyway, part opens. It's the majority of parts are people taking gnarly slams when it opens. He had some of the craziest slams I've ever seen. Anyway, there was a bump, like a small one, and then there was a bike rack, and then a wall. He ollied over the bike rack, and then the wall. He didn't wall ride over it. He ollied over it, and then hit a wall ride. But it was a pretty big gap. It was a pretty big wall ride. Then he did a frontside board slide down a handrail that was skate stopped. It had like nuts on it. Like someone really took like screws and drilled them in there. But he frontside board slid it. Those cops probably got fired because they didn't do a good job of skate stopping it. Then he did a frontside tail slide on a ledge, and then he kick flipped out. Like, you know those skinny like brick ledges? He went and frontside tail slide one of them, and then it connected to a building. He did the kick flip out and then popped over the ledge to the other side and then landed it, which is pretty hard and awesome. Then he did a wall ride up a hubba. No. Well, like, it was like a handrail, but they put like like masonite or something on it. And he wall rid the masonite and then board slid down the rail. Last part, Julian Davidson. He had a amazing part. It was like Guy Mariano's kind of, but not quite as big, because he's not Guy Mariano, and no one's as good as Guy Mariano, really. He had a sick part though. It was up there in the top 10. Then he started off. He tried to backside board slide down a kink trail, but when he hit the kink, he slammed. He jumped off the board when he hit the kink, and then fell straight to the ground. And he got up and he said to the filmer that he's sorry that he had to watch that. It was probably brutal. I thought that was kind of funny though, that he's apologizing to the filmer. He did a backside. Oh, this was sick. He did a backside nose blunt on this out ledge. It was a long out ledge, and then he went to fakie. It was pretty huge. Then he did backsmith down this humongous handrail. This thing's long. He did a backsmith down it, and then he back 180'd out. This is probably one of my favorite tricks in the whole video. Rolled up, and then he did a switch frontside 360 down this 4-block. This 4-block is insanely big. It's big. He did. I like this trick a lot, but no one does it. A backside 180 to 50-50 down stuff, and he did it down a hubba. It was a skinny hubba, so I don't know what you'd call it. I'd call it hubba, but it could also be called a rail. Then his ender was huge. Not gonna tell you what it was, even though it was pretty basic, but it was huge. And then after he landed it, the whole crew came in from the video. Like everyone who was in the video walked up to him. They all gave him hugs. It was a pretty majestic moment. That's the video. I recommend this video a lot. Perpetual Motion, Transworld video 25. Next video is probably going to go up tomorrow. The Death Wish video. I just purchased these yesterday on at Zoomies. Go buy them. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Buy these videos. Watch these parts. Jump rope like Jimmy Carlin.